Hi friends, I am Sriram Madhusudan Rao, working as an assistant professor in H&S department of Chebrolu Engineering College. So in this lecture, I would like to discuss about the diamagnetism and paramagnetism under magnetic properties. Actually, these lectures are the series of lectures which covers the magnetic properties. So, to have the complete knowledge of magnetic properties, it's better to follow the whole lectures. These videos are mainly useful to first BTech students of all universities and degree BSc students, science students. So, let us start the session. So, sorry for that mistake. This is diamagnetism. So, mainly the magnetism was classified into three types: diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. Again, ferromagnetism was converted into ferrimagnetism and antiferromagnetism. So, in this slide, I would like to discuss about the diamagnetism. So, if we look at the diagram here, magnetic field here in the specimen there are no dipoles. All the atoms are empty. There are no dipoles. So in the absence of here, no applied magnetic field. That means technically in the absence of magnetic field there were no dipoles. But in the next case we have applied magnetic field here. So after application of magnetic field, what happened? If we carefully observe the diagram, the blue lines, the blue arrows, which are the magnetic dipoles, they are created. They are created means induced. Here we have to use the word induced. So these dipoles are induced, and importantly, these dipoles are aligned in the opposite direction to the field. So if we look at the direction of these blue arrows, that means the magnetic moments, they are in the direction of opposite to that of magnetic field. So as these dipoles are opposite to that of magnetic field, these materials are repelled by the magnetic field. These materials are repelled by the magnetic field. So we have to remember one thing: in the absence of in the absence of magnetic field, there were no dipoles. But after application of external magnetic field, the dipoles were induced, and they are in opposite direction. So it is the major concept you have to remember. It is the important thing here. So there are no permanent dipoles at all in the in this type of magnetic materials. Whenever we have applied the magnetic field, the dipoles were induced and they are orient in opposite direction to that of field. Here the dipoles are actually induced by change in orbital motion of the electrons. So whenever we have applied the magnetic field, the orbital motion of the electrons tend to change. That's why the dipoles are induced, and the induced dipoles are in opposite direction. So as it is opposing the external magnetic field, we can say it is a weak magnetism. It is a weak magnetism. So this is simply from the diagram you can. So here if we look at this diagram, the magnetic flux field lines are not passing through the material, they are expelling out of the material, that means repulsion. So this is simply about the diamagnetic material. So this type of magnetism experienced by the materials are called diamagnetic materials. So here, if we look at the susceptibility versus temperature diagram, susceptibility versus temperature. So there is not at all any effect of temperature in these materials. So it is independent of the susceptibility is independent of temperature. So this is the major thing we have to remember. So temperature, susceptibility. So there is no dependency of temperature on susceptibility. So if we see the properties, so if we once look at these properties, all these properties were I had explained in the last slide with the diagram. So once again I will explain it in a simple manner. So it is a weak form of magnetism because it is repelling. So diamagnetism is because of orbital magnetic moment. So there are no permanent dipoles are present. So net magnetic moment is 0. Persists only when external field is applied. So we have looked at whenever the field is applied, the dipoles are created in the opposite direction. That is the simple meaning. So the number of orientations of electronic orbits is such that the vector sum of the magnetic moments is 0. So here the electrons in the orbits, if we take the net magnetic moment, so the net magnetic moment is 0. So the dipoles are induced by change in orbital motion of electrons due to applied field. So whenever we applied the magnetic field, the dipoles are induced. That means the orbital motion was changed. Whenever changed, the dipoles are created. So these are the properties. So there may be two or more properties. I will explain it. So as we have seen the diagram, the temperature versus susceptibility versus temperature. So it is independent of temperature and also applied field strength. So if we have increased the field strength, there is not at all any significant attraction, only repulsion will take place. So susceptibility is negative. It is of the order of minus 10 power minus 5. So relative permeability is less than 1. Generally it is present in all materials, but it is so weak. So it can be observed when other type of magnetisms are totally absent. Generally it is not observed, but whenever there is no other type of magnetism, so you can observe the diamagnetism in materials. So examples are bismuth, zinc, gold, water, alkali, earth metals. Actually these are superconducting elements. These are the properties of diamagnetic materials. So these are the properties of diamagnetic materials. So next classification was paramagnetism. So sorry for the invisibility. I will rectify in upcoming lectures. So paramagnetism. So next another classification is paramagnetism. So if we have observed the two diagrams, we can simply understand. If we look at the two images, we can simply understand. So here, this is the absence of magnetic field. This is the after application of magnetic field. So in the absence of magnetic field or no applied field, what we have observed, already there are dipoles. So the blue arrows indicates dipoles. Already the dipoles are there, that means the permanent dipoles are there, but they are in random direction. Random means zigzag, freely oriented. So whenever we have applied the field, they are aligned in the field direction. If you look at the diagram carefully, not at all the dipoles are aligned in the field direction, only few. Suppose here if we had taken total, there are 9 dipoles. Out of 9, there are only exactly in the field direction are almost 3 or 4. So 9 out of 4, sorry, 4 out of 9. So this is weak effect. So this is simply we can call it as weak effect. That means only weak attraction is there. So this type of materials are weakly attracted by the this type of dipoles are weakly attracted by the magnetic materials. So this is weak. Paramagnetism is the weak effect. So generally the relative permeability is greater than 1. The relative permeability is greater than 1 and susceptibility is just positive. So such type of materials are called generally paramagnetic materials. So the type of magnetism exhibited by such type of materials are called, such type of materials is called paramagnetism. So I am simply once again explain these with only the two diagrams. So in the absence of magnetic field, the dipoles are in random. In the presence of magnetic field, they almost 30 to 40% of dipoles are oriented in the field direction. So only less number of dipoles are attracted towards the field direction. So it is a weak effect. So this is called weak magnetism. So such type of materials are called paramagnetic materials. So if we look at the properties, so in presence of magnetic field, the materials get feebly magnetized. That material allows few magnetic lines of only. So relative permeability is greater than 1. So here is the one. The paramagnetic, the orientation of magnetic dipoles depends on temperature and applied field. So in this type of materials, generally whenever we have increased the temperature, so temperature increases, thermal energy increases, and the dipoles are tried to align in the random direction. So automatically whenever they try to in random, automatically the magnetism will decrease. So susceptibility is independent of applied magnetic field and depends on temperature. So as we have told in the last point, whenever temperature is increases, the hardness of the dipoles decreases automatically, susceptibility get decreases. So it can be given by simply mathematically. This is called Curie's law. So here is the A diagram as we have told in the last slide. This is the relation between graph between susceptibility and temperature. So as the temperature increases, susceptibility decreases. Because of as the temperature increases, thermal agitation or thermal energy increases, the dipoles are more in random direction. So as there is in random, the attraction is very less. That means it is losing its attractive nature. So this is the relation between susceptibility and temperature. As there is, psi is proportional to 1 by T. If we have taken some constant, this is Curie constant, that's why we have in that last point psi equal to C by T. So this is the susceptibility versus temperature diagram. So if we see the major difference between paramagnetism and diamagnetism. So atoms with unpaired electrons. So whenever there are atoms with unpaired electrons, simply they are paramagnetic. So whenever the atoms are with paired electrons, they are called diamagnetic materials. So this is the major difference between paramagnetic effect and diamagnetic effect. So whenever the temperature is increases, paramagnetic materials are converted into diamagnetic materials because of the randomness of the dipole. So this is the major difference is these are unpaired and these are paired. So thank you for watching this lecture. There are some mistakes, that means that some headings are not visible. I will surely solve this in upcoming videos. So please follow the lecture series to have complete knowledge about the magnetic properties. Thank you.